So, the appellant, the person who was being accused of the murder, which was convicted of as well, tells another neighbor they saw that the victim or the appellant was covered with blood. Again, I'm not saying any slang terms in here either, but he was accusing random people that doesn't exist. That they were chasing him and that the alleged pursuers had killed a girl named Tina. An emergency squad responded and transported the appellant to Mount Carmel West Hospital. He was examined there. He was covered with blood, more blood than could be attributed to his wounds. A small stab wound around his left eye and a small stab wound in his upper back. The appellant's wounds were not life-threatening. His vital organs were normal, and hospitalization was therefore unnecessary. However, the appellant claimed that he had been shot, and x-rays revealed a bullet lodged in the appellant's upper thorax. They were confused at this, since all of the appellant's wounds were stab wounds. The appellant was rude and uncooperative with the doctors and police, and he would not permit the treatment to treat the wounds. He didn't want treatment. The appellant told a security guard at the hospital that he had been attacked by two men who had stabbed him and shot at him. So he is identifying these non-existent people. He's saying them by their race. I just don't want to go there. So if you leave that in the comments, I'm sorry. You can look it up yourself. I don't want to bring any of that in because I'm bringing to what happened. But I want to remember who was lost. Eventually, the appellant was asked to leave the hospital. Later, they reviewed his file at the hospital stay and discovered that the bullet lodged in his body had been there for about 2 years. So it was an old wound. So later that morning, again February 7th, 1989, appellant went to Grant Hospital, where he was admitted for treatment for his stab wounds and the alleged gunshot wound. That afternoon, appellant called the police to report that he had been shot and robbed. That evening, the appellant talked to the police, or with the police, on 2 separate occasions. The appellant had told police that he and Tina had picked up 2 male hitchhikers after leaving Dempsey's home. Appellant claimed that the hitchhikers had tried to rob him and had forced him to drive to a secluded field off Groveport Road. According to the appellant, the robbers then shot and stabbed him and stabbed Tina while he was seated in the back seat of the Buick. The appellant stated that one of the robbers removed Tina from the passenger side of the vehicle while appellant and the other robber exited the vehicle from the driver's side. At the time, according to appellant, he managed to escape in the Buick, leaving Tina in the field with the assailants. I mean, this already sounds far-fetched from the get-go. But anyways, we're going to keep reading. On the night of February 7th, police began searching for Tina in the area where appellant claimed to have left her. On February 8th, 1989, the search continued. On February 9th, a game warden accidentally discovered Tina's frozen body in a secluded field approximately 5 miles from where appellant claimed to have left her. The evidence at the scene indicated that Tina had been killed where her body was found. She had been stabbed or cut 46 times. Her pants had been pulled down to her ankles and her pants had been pulled down to mid-thigh. Bloody hand and finger smears were found on her legs, in her thighs, and her vaginal area. Tina's stab wounds were consistent with having been caused by a knife similar to the one the appellant possessed on the night of the murder. Bloody impressions on Tina's clothing were of a size and shape that indicated they had been made with a knife, similar to the deer slayer knife. The murder weapon was never recovered by police. Probably was thrown in that dumpster. Drops of blood other than Tina's were found on Tina's face, ribcage, and thighs. Expert analysis of photographs taken at the crime scene revealed that the blood had dripped onto Tina's mostly nude body as her killer stood directly over her. DNA analysis revealed that it was highly probable the drops of blood and other blood samples taken from Tina's clothing had come from the appellant. A broken stick found at the murder scene matched a wood chip recovered from the emergency brake cable on the underside of the appellant's car. The wood chip fit the broken stick, tongue, and groove, proving that the appellant's Buick had been at the murder scene. I just love that they can put it together like that. Forensic experts found the blood in various locations within appellant's car, especially in the front seat. The blood stains stabbed in the back seat of the vehicle and dragged out of the passenger's side. Blood splattered on the Buick, including blood stains on the frame, wheel, and brake drum, indicating that Tina had been stabbed to death while lying on the ground near the driver's side of the Buick. Additionally, Tina's bloody fingerprints were found on the outside driver's window of the Buick, as if Tina had gripped the glass from the interior of the vehicle while the door was open. The deerslayer knife was missing from the glove box. Bloodstains on the glove box indicated that that compartment had been opened by someone with bloody hands. The appellant became a suspect in the murder on February 10, 1989, when police spoke with the doctor, I'm just going to say it that way, and learned that the bullet lodged in the appellant's body was several years old. In May 1989, the appellant was indicted on 2 separate counts for aggravated murder of Tina. Count 1 charged with appellant with purposeful killing of Tina during the commission of an attempted rape. Count 2 charged appellant with the purposeful killing of Tina during the commission of a kidnapping. Each of the 2 charges of aggravated murder carried death penalty specifications, alleging that the murder had occurred during the commission of a kidnapping and attempted rape. The appellant was also indicted on 1 count of attempted rape and 1 count of kidnapping. The appellant was tried by a jury. The jury found the appellant guilty of all charges and specifications allowed in the indictment. So, I'm not going to read all the rest of this. That's the synopsis of what happened to take her life. And it is horrible, horrific. Like, you can't even... I'm trying not to be too emotional here, but you can't hardly read that. And I want to throw up. But that's not who she was. That may be how she left this earth. She was a person. She was a young teenager. And she had life. I'm thankful she was here. I'm thankful our paths crossed for the brief time that it did. There's much more on this case. You can look up it. I don't, again, want to glorify the perpetrator. I don't want to take something that was evil and give it any more than what I have to say. That is so horrific, So disgusting. But remember Tina Baisden. Remember those criminals too. Even him, his family, her family. Remember them in prayer. Because there's a lot of times that when we can't do anything else, don't have the right words to say, don't know how to comfort people, the greatest gift you can offer them at that point is prayer. Because they need strength. They've got to get through this. They need those comforting arms that only Jesus can give. So I'm going to post her pictures on here. And I want to remember the life of Tina Marie Baisden.